We got the vibe, fun and friendly all the time. Draft and play and feel the rise. Magic moments in our eyes.
Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic here, back doing a best of one Foundations draft. We have Zul Ashur, Lich Lord as our rare. I don't think we'll take that. I immediately have my eyes on Tatyova, which is just an incredible card. It is double color, but it's such a strong card that I think you just take it. Just turning your lands into extra draw cards and gain life is incredible, especially since there's both draw value cards and gain life value cards. Even if there weren't those synergies in the format, this card would be incredible. So just a really strong card in a vacuum, and certainly more powerful than a removal spell of Banishing Light Rebuke. Haven't gotten to play with the Infernal Vassal yet, but I like it. It's good for the sack deck. I mean, it's good even without the sack deck. It's just two bodies in one, essentially. And Cathar Commando is very playable. And those are it as far as like kind of what I've got my eye on for first pick. But feel good about Tatyova. Good card. Follow-up pick. 6-mana 5/5 flyer. Whenever source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you draw that many cards. Well, geez, Anatoly's in here? What in the world did they what did they take? Well, I could just take Atali too. There's Mischievous Mystic though, which really honestly makes a lot of sense with our first pick, because basically whenever you play a land, you get to gain a life, draw a card, and make a 1/1 flyer if you have both of those out, which is pretty incredible. And it's just on color with our first pick, and it's a 2-mana 2-power flyer. A little unfortunate that we would pass Atali because this card is amazing too. Just free spells off the top of players' decks. But, I mean, if we want to make Tatyova work, I think we take an amazing card for blue and Mischievous Mystic. So maybe get the Big Fin Bouncer, or more realistically, the Uncharted Voyage back. That would be nice. It's an amazing pack, though. I mean, Niv Mizzet, Atali, Nighthawk, Ruby, Savior, Bouncer, Stab, Beastskin Ranger, just so many playables, but we're going to go with the Mystic and be pretty happy about that. All right, well, Fleeting Distraction is also amazing with Mischievous Mystic. It's just like a 1-mana draw a card, make a 1/1 if you do it on, I guess it could be either turn. There's Runesealed Wall, which is not so exciting. And in green, there's Ambush Wolf and Dwynen, and Dwynen's Elite, but I'm going to take the Fleeting Distraction because I really like the card. And like I said, there's just a lot. There's a cycle, or I should say, there's a few cards in this format that just give you, whenever you draw your second card, value. So taking cards like Fleeting Distraction that let you generate that for 1 mana, I think are very important. And it's a bit early, but there's really nothing busted in this pack anyway. So Fleeting Distraction feels good to me. So we could take another Fleeting Distraction. Otherwise, I guess maybe we wheel some, I don't know what we're going to wheel here that we want. Because in green, there's just Dwynen's Elite and Grow from the Ashes. Could end up splashing Tatyova, too. Best card in this pack. I mean, Reinforcements is very good. There's Ruby. Ink Mage, Threshold is more of the blue-black deck, but I feel fine taking another Fleeting Distraction, being pretty happy about that. I really think the card is good, and it synergizes really well with the draw cards and prowess stuff and Firebrand Archer style stuff if we end up like blue-red splash green or something like that. Siobhan Dragon, kind of expensive. We could take a Campus Guide, although it feels early, but Campus Guide would allow us to maybe splash Tatyova. If you're not, or I guess Rugged Highlands would let us, that's actually true. Rugged Highlands would let us splash Tatyova if we end up blue-red without having to play Campus Guide. That's kind of preferable. What am I giving up for that? A Runaway Together, which is fine. It can protect and bounce something your opponent controls. In white, Prideful Parent and Squad Rallier. I'd rather take a card that's free for the deck than a card that is mediocre besides splashing. That takes up a slot of one of your valuable 23 cards. So I think I'm going to take Rugged Highlands, just in case we end up red. It is very speculative. So there's Uncharted Voyage here, which would let us continue to cut blue, and is a very playable card. There's also Goldvein Pick, which is really good with Mystic, not only equipping on the Mystic, but all the fairies that you make too. And it also lets you splash Tatyova. But I feel good about cutting blue and taking Voyage since we don't really have any removal yet. And Voyage is played reasonably well. It's not an amazing card by any stretch, but certainly playable. Other playable cards in here, I mean, Ravenous Amulet if you're the sack deck, or yeah, basically black-red sack I would think is where that shines the most, or maybe black-white. I feel like you could play it there too. Sower is playable. It's just some like random playable stuff in here, nothing amazing. So I feel fine taking that. Arcane Epiphany seems good since we already have a wizard. And Tatyova is a druid, but that's okay. Otherwise, there's Slagstorm, which is a board wipe. Unfortunately, it kills Tatyova and all of our Mischievous Mystic and all that stuff. Other option is just taking the Arcane Epiphany in case we still end up green-blue. Arcane Epiphany is just very good. We have a lot of draw card stuff already. Slagstorm, obviously a rare effect, and it can be a board wipe. If we end up blue-red, I guess I'd rather have the Slagstorm, but giving up an Arcane Epiphany could be bad too. Because 4 mana instant speed draw 3 is good. For some reason, I'm feeling like taking the Slagstorm. Just seeing it pick 7, maybe that's a sign for red. And it's a very powerful effect to have. Especially for our deck like ours that I feel like can just generate a ton of card advantage. So board wipe just seems valuable. Could take a Lagak here. I mean, there's Snare Spinner in green, which is, I think, clearly better than Lagak. That's true. Let's take the Snare Spinner. I think Snare Spinner does a better job of like taking over the game, and also survives Slagstorm. Although if we're playing Snare Spinner, we're probably not playing Slagstorm. So in green now we have Elfsworn Giant. In blue we have Icewind Elemental. Both are reasonable options. And there's Firebrand Archer in red, which is good with like the fleeting distractions and stuff like that. I'm okay taking Icewind Elemental. I think I like it more than Elfsworn Giant, just because it's got 4 toughness and leaves us more open to playing Slagstorm. Okay, I think that's reasonable. There's Siobhan Dragon. I'm just not 100% sure what our second color is yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. So second, Uncharted Voyage or Beastskin Ranger. And then there's Thrill of Possibility in red and Ruby pick 10, which is kind of impressive actually. Maybe just take a second Uncharted Voyage to continue to cut blue. I mean, I really want to be pretty deep blue at this point, I think. So now it's Ambush Wolf versus Dwynen's Elite. We're going to need some more cheap creatures, which makes the... I guess there's Electro Duplicate too, but I don't think I want to take that. I think I want to take one of the green things. I'm going to go with the Ambush Wolf because Flash In just leaves you more options. All right, now there's Firebrand Archer, pick 12 Ruby. And Grow from the Ashes, which I don't think that I want. I don't really like Grow from the Ashes all that much. I'm going to go with Archer, even though it's worse than Ruby. I don't know if I want to go straight 3-color. Okay, we'll take Siobhan Dragon in case we end up. So still kind of waffling between a couple colors here. Wow, Celestial Armor is very good, but we're not going to first pick that. And then there's really good white stuff and really good black stuff, but could take Felling Blow. It is one-sided removal. It's an uncommon for a reason because it is quite good. Works really well with Death Touch. Otherwise, Sky Mage is a little too tough to get going. Erudite Wizard is a card you want to wheel. Nothing else really in blue. I think we'll take the Felling Blow. Somebody in white's going to be really happy with this pack, but Felling Blow feels fine to me if we do, in fact, end up green-blue, which it kind of feels like we will be. We saw more late red, I feel like, but if we don't have to splash, that's better. Wow, Ghalta, well, that's really good. There's also Spectral Sailor. Garruk's Uprising is certainly playable. Burst Lightning in red. Spectral Sailor's pretty amazing for just drawing cards for Mischievous Mystic, and it's just 1-mana flash, but Ghalta is a really nice win con. We're going to need some more actual bodies in order to get Ghalta out at a reasonable cost, but I feel like Ghalta is just often a 2-mana 12/12 trample, which is really hard to pass up. So why don't we just, at this point, commit to green-blue, feel good about it, and try to supplement our early game as best as we can, because right now we have 1/2 drop, which is a little bit worrisome. So we can take Bite Down, but we could also take Strix Lookout. Gives us another much-needed 2-drop. Bite Down is going to be better in a vacuum, but I think we probably get some Lookout just so we're staying kind of busy early, and it also gives us synergy with Mischievous Mystic. So I feel good about that. Another Atali, wow. Could have had 2 of those. But I still feel pretty good about where we're at. Affectionate Indrik is fine. We could take Bushwhack as well. There is a Gleaming Barrier for earlier blocks. I think Indrik might be the best. Bushwhack lets you keep more hands, though, which is really nice because you get a fight card. We don't have great bodies to fight with, though, which also makes... well, Bite Down's still fine because it doesn't fight. It's strictly better than that. But Indrik might just be the pick. It's more top end, which I don't like, but the early... Unless the early stuff is creatures, I don't know if we necessarily need it either. There's also Cackling Prowler in here, but I'm going to go with the Indrik. We need to make sure that we can survive. That's the main issue I'm currently seeing with this deck. So we're going to have to prioritize 2 and 3 drop, 1, 2, and 3 drop green and blue creatures to make this work. So I think we'll go with the Erudite Wizard since we already have 2 fleeting distractions. Strix Lookout, Icewind Elemental, and Tatyova. So a lot of synergy with Erudite Wizards, and we may wheel the other one. 3-drop 2 3s in a vacuum are not amazing, but in a deck like this, I think it's what we want. All right, well, we could take Elementalist Adept, which I don't love, but certainly something this deck needs, and gets much better with Fleeting Distraction, and having the Flash is nice as well. There's Beastskin Ranger in here, which is also highly playable, but we need actual 2 drops to be able to survive to this really, really good late game we have. So another Ambush Wolf seems fine to me. It's a flash blocker. I like that. And exiling cards from graveyards is absolutely relevant in a format that has flashback. Taking it over Runaway Together, I think, is also fine. Yeah. Makes Galta 4 cheaper. That's pretty nice. I'm going to take Adept number 2 over Ambush Wolf number 3. I just, once again, really want to ensure that we're playing enough early game. And having all these flash creatures is actually really nice. So Uncharted Voyage number 3 versus Erudite Wizard number 2. I think we'll take Wizard number 2. This deck is really well set up to do this whenever you draw your second card synergy. I'll take a Garruk's Uprising. We have 2 Ambush Wolves already. And then we have Indrik and Galta. So not enough yet to really be able to capitalize on that, but maybe we end up with more. We'll see. I don't want to play Juggernaut. That's not what this deck wants to do. I'm going to pass these 3 off-color things. And taking a pick 12 Bushwhack is actually incredible. Card is very good. It's less good in our deck, but still, like I said, makes more hands keepable with the allowing you to search up a land feature of it. Also would let us splash. I'm going to pass the Firebrand. I kind of feel like getting someone to jump in red allows us, you know, more opportunities to solidify ourselves in green-blue, but I think we're pretty well solidified at this point. I'm going to Think Twice. It's just a great card. It's really good with double Erudite Wizard. It's obviously good with Mystic. It does give us more card draw, which you don't really need, but maybe we wheel the Elfsworn Giant. More really good white stuff in here, but I feel good about Think Twice. So Needletooth Pack is fine. It's a good body. It's another 5-drop, which we don't really necessarily need because we already have 2, but it's a good card. Certainly good enough. We wheeled Bushwhack last pack. Not sure if we'll wheel it this pack, but I need to make sure we have enough good bodies to use Bushwhack's fight aspect. So Needletooth Pack really helps with that. So Cackling Prowler, but this is such a good Llanowar Elf deck because we need more early plays and we have plenty of stuff we want to ramp into. So I really like taking Llanowar Elf here, and if we will Rogue's Passage or Prowler, that would be a gift, but I'm not holding my breath. I think we'll dump the, well, probably dump the Highlands first. I doubt we're going to do Uprising, although I did just get Needletooth Pack. We may, there's a possibility we end up playing the Uprising, although we don't really need the card draw anymore with all this. Yeah, you know, I don't think we're going to need the Uprising. So we're 1 card away from a deck. We're looking pretty good. So we could take Dwynen, but I feel fine with another Ambush Wolf, or we could just take another Lookout, really make our Erudite Wizards and Mystics better. Ambush Wolf is very good, though. I like having all these flash creatures. We don't have enough elves to justify Dwynen, and it's double green, which I don't really need. So it's between Ambush Wolf and Strix Lookout. I think I'm going to go with lookout number 2. I don't know if this is right, but having 2 of them feels pretty good to me. Well, we see lookout number 3 now, and now it's Needletooth Pack versus Prowler. There's also Lunar Insight and Refute, but I think I'm actually going to take Thornwood Falls. We already technically have a deck. We'll probably wheel something, and this is a free card for our deck. Makes our mana base better, makes more hands keepable, less chance of having to mulligan. And deck is already looking pretty good. Wow, Llanowar Elf number 2, huge gift here. Huge gift. And the cut, I'm not even 100% sure on yet. We're going to have to figure that out. Taking it over Bite Down, though, is fine. So Snare Spinner number 2 or versus Bushwhack. Both are pretty good options. We have okay bodies for Bushwhack now. Basically, Pack, Elemental, Snare Spinner. I kind of want to take a second Snare Spinner with the ramp, though, with the double Llanowar Elf. Could be wrong. I'm going to take Snare Spinner number 2, though. We already have 17 creatures. That could be wrong. We'll find out. We'll see what we wheel to. So it's a best of 1. So I don't think we're going to main deck Sage. There is Elfsworn Giant and Uncharted Voyage number 3. I think I'll just take the Giant. I don't know if we'll play it, but it's not a bad card. Well, there's another one here, but we don't need Ravenous Amulet, so I'll take a second one. And Aegis Turtle we don't need, but I'll take. Cackling Prowler's a chance. We'll consider it. I don't think it's going to make the deck. I think we have enough playables where we don't need it, but worthy of considering at this point. I like this deck. I think we ended up with enough removal too, which is excellent. Certainly enough card draw. All right, Ambush Wolf number 3. Still, I mean, even with double Llanowar Elf, how many elves did we get? 2, yeah. Well, we have Elfsworn Giant too. I'm still going to take Ambush Wolf. I think there's just a very high chance that we're going to play 3 of them with double Llanowar Elf. I think that could end up really good. I don't think we need the Mocking Sprite. All right. So a lot of good playables in here. A lot of card draw. Yeah. 7 cuts to be made. And a lot of them could be creatures. So I may just cut the Elfsworn Giants. We can cut back on our 5 drops, even though we have the double Llanowar Elf. Elfsworn Giants are not particularly good with Bushwhack. They are good with Felling Blow. Yeah, I don't know if that matters. 7 cuts, and we could easily cut 7 creatures. So I think we're just going to look at our 7 weakest creatures. I have a hunch our weakest creatures are probably the Elfsworn Giants, probably the Cackling Prowlers. I'd rather run the Snare Spinners just because they can, theoretically take the game over, especially in the late game. I'm kind of feeling like it might be Ambush Wolf versus Erudite Wizard. It's just, I kind of want to run all these 3-drop with double Llanowar Elf. Just the going Llanowar Elf into a 3-drop is very strong. Turn 1 Llanowar Elf, turn 2 Ambush Wolf is very good. That's 4 power on turn 2. And it really, I mean, if they're not playing a 2-drop and you're on the play, you're really threatening, a fifth of their life total real fast. And with Uncharted Voyage, you can really do some crazy tempo stuff. It might be Icewind Elemental. Icewind Elemental has synergy with Mystic, Erudite Wizard. It's one of the very, very few, in fact, yeah, I was going to say one of the only evasive creatures we have, but that's not true. We have the Lookouts and the Mystic as well. I really like the Lookouts in here just with double Llanowar Elf and 17 lands and Bushwhack and all that. There's a pretty high chance of getting flooded, and Lookout really helps mitigate that. The thing about cutting the Elemental is it just leaves us with so much. Does it matter if we have this much early game? I don't think it does. Fleeting Distraction is still perfectly fine with the Wizards and the Mystic. I think if we didn't have the Wizards and the Mystic, you wouldn't want to run the Distraction. So let's cut the Icewind Elemental. It just kind of feels like maybe the weakest card to cut. I could consider cutting the Needletooth Pack. I kind of like it. It only generates on your turn. I don't know if that's a big deal. It's very good with Bushwhack. It gives us some things to ramp into. It does make Galta quite a bit cheaper. I think I like Indrik better just because fighting is so nice. Fighting and getting a 4/4 is so nice. We have to cut 2 more creatures. We don't have to, but I'm gonna cut 2 more creatures. So it might be one of our Ambush Wolves. It's a better split of 2, 2, 2, 2, early game, 2 with the Adepts. You know, Adept, I could see cutting an Adept here and being just fine with that. With double Lana or Elf, you know, that's probably just fine. In fact, I think there's a reasonable argument to cut both Adepts and run the Icewind Elemental and an Ambush Wolf, but are we going to stay busy enough early is the question. Because Adept is not an amazing card by any stretch. It flashes in, it can flash block. That is nice. It's just, with double Lana or Elf, you know, there's some incentive to go more, basically to go more of a, like a mid-range plan, but I think our mid-range plan is just fine. We have a million ways to draw cards. Double Lookout, Think Twice, Tatyova. We have huge mana sinks with double Snare Spinner. So, like, we get super flooded, you just pay 1,000,000 mana and buff all your dudes. And even if you're ripping more lands, you're staying busy. And you have reach, which is nice. So last cut, I think it's just going to be an Adept. I think I feel fine with that. And like I said, I might just cut another Adept and run another Ambush Wolf instead. Because Ambush Wolf, even though it's 1 more mana, I feel like it does more for this deck with Galta. Making Galta 4 cheaper is kind of significant. Certainly more significant than Adept does. And we're still staying pretty busy early with 2 Lana or Elf, 2 Lookout. It's only 5 1 and 2 drop creatures. All right, maybe we'll run 1 Adept. I don't want to get swarmed. An Adept run is like a 2 mana, you know, 2 damage to an attacker spell if you view it that way. It's obviously much more than that, but if you view it that way, it's good to have at least one of those. Yeah, I like this deck. I think it's good. Even split, so glad we got that Thornwood Falls. I think we're staying busy. We've got good cards. The main there's no real main downsides to this deck. Even removal wise, we have a Bushwhack, we have a Felling Blow, 2 Uncharted Voyage, which really aren't removal but good tempo, and we have Affectionate Indrik. So yeah, this looks like a fun deck. I'm pretty pleased with it. I think it could definitely win. We'll see what we can do with it, and we'll see you round 1. Okay, round 1. We'll keep this. It's a little bit on the slow side, but this is where Bushwhack is really coming in impressively, because this just makes this hand much more keepable, despite being slow. Good rip there. Okay. Well, we'll get in there and pass. I could see trading here. We have Tatyova, so I'm okay with that. I mean, if I keep this, yeah, you know, I don't need the Lookout. I'm going to keep my mana busy for a while. I don't want to take 3 damage there unnecessarily. Like I said, I think it's the Tatyova that really makes this decision that much easier. I wouldn't trade that if I wasn't confident I'm gonna, you know, draw a bunch more. So actually, we're not gonna play Tatyova here, believe it or not. We're gonna attack with the Snare Spinner, and then I'm gonna play Snare Spinner number 2, and then I'm gonna wait to draw a land before I play Tatyova, because then I go Tatyova plus land, and that is just really good value there. If they have removal, I'd much rather them use it on my Snare Spinner I just played than Tatyova. So if, like I said, I'm fine attacking with the Snare Spinner. They use removal on my Snare Spinner to get in with Angel. I'm cool with that. They got combat tricks. I'm not going to play around them. I would block there. They can use combat tricks too. All right. So now we're going to get in with 1 Snare Spinner, see if they use removal. And then we're going to go Tatyova plus Island. And automatically just get straight up free draw. Draw a card. Beautiful. All right. Unexpected, but yeah, they got there. So we'll get our 7th land out, and then we have Uncharted Voyage plus Ambush Wolf. They don't have any flashback, but that's not a huge deal. We still have Gulta, which is going to be real difficult to cast with nothing out. Actually, that's not true. I'm an Ambush a Wolf away from casting Gulta, which is pretty nice. I don't necessarily need to do Uncharted Voyage on that yet, so I'm actually going to wait. Guess we'll get rid of Dazzling Angel. I don't know. Yeah. Do I have more land? I don't think I have more landfall in here, right? I don't, but I have another Strix Lookout, so there is some actual incentive to not playing that land yet. If I draw a second one, I will. Yeah, this is actually where we want to be here. I can afford to take a hit here from... it's a weird choice. Huh. I see. What are the odds that we can race these tokens? You know, not great. I think we'll take 3 here. And I'll play the Adept. And I'm going to see what we draw. All right, that's actually really nice. So we'll do Felling Blow. Kill the Sky Mage. And then I'm going to get in. If they want to double block the Adept and take 5, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm not going to use Uncharted Voyage to protect Adept. I'm fine basically trading my Adept for a Goblin Surprise. I'm just going to have to be okay with that. All right, so obviously we're going to Uncharted Voyage that. I'm going to do it now. And we'll dump the Llanowar Elf. Great draw there. All right. We're going to do Ambush Wolf now to get rid of Think Twice. All right. It's a surprising trade. I think I would take it if I were them. They're just being real cautious, but when you're at 5 life, and I mean, if they have another threat in hand, then I guess it makes sense, but yeah, I guess they have another threat, so it's kind of sensible. All right. So I think we'll probably have to trade the wizard for the seer slicer goblin here. Well, may not have that luxury now. Well, at least they missed. I don't think there's any real benefit to keeping the erudite wizard around here, so I'm just going to trade with the seer slicer goblin. They don't want to. That's pretty interesting. Oh, Indrik, great. So I'm going to easily fight Squad Rallier here. This is huge for us. I think they can use the Rallier again, but at least we kill it. And they missed again, which is great, but definitely killing that. Yes. Do I want to get in with the wizard? I think there's some incentive to do that. Basically, if I get in with wizard, and they trade with Seer Slicer Goblin, I'm either getting rid of a token, they're taking 2, or I'm getting a double block for my Indrik off the board for next turn. I think this is fine. I like this, actually. Because now my Indrik has, can get in there. Uh-oh, Draycatcher, huh? Wonder if we have to wait. So I get in with Indrik, they just chump with a 1/1. Then next turn they could potentially end up getting a Drake. So I'm going to wait on that. We'll block. All right, see you for the next one. All right, it's a great hand. We get to go elf into think twice. Oh, well, I guess I can't. We'll still do elf first, but I guess I can't do think twice turn 2 yet. All right. Well, I'll offer the trade. I'm fine with that. I don't want to deal with Healer's Hawk. So I don't love playing Tatyova without. You should almost think of Tatyova as a 6-drop. You don't really want to play it on turn 5. Or with 5 mana out, I should say. You really kind of want to play it when you can make a land drop right away. All right, no play. We're just going to chill. I'm going to play a land and pass. I'm going to leave up Uncharted Voyage and think twice. All right, we'll do think twice. Okay, so we'll go land and we'll pass again. Leave up think twice, leave up Uncharted Voyage. Not playing Tatyova, not wanting to attack with Lano or Elf into some sort of removal spell that I can't think of, like a kill tapped creature or whatever. I'm fine getting pecked by this Healer's Hawk at the moment until I can take advantage of this Tatyova. Don't need to cast Felling Blow to kill a Healer's Hawk yet. All right, go and think twice. Draw a card. All right, so now we'll play Tatyova, we'll play a land. They can kill it. We already got our value off of it. And play another land or elf. All right. They were like playing around a counterspell or something, it seems like. So now we can go Erudite Wizard. We'll go land. We will die to that. If they have the Mythic, we are going to die to that, which I should keep in mind here. We have 5 mana though, so we can... Yeah, we basically just die to that. I can leave up Uncharted Voyage though. You know, a good play here might just be Bushwhack, and you know what? Yeah, I like that. Let's do Bushwhack. Let's fight. We're going to do Erudite Wizard fights Hawk. I'm going to get in with Tatyova here and pass and leave up Uncharted Voyage. Actually, I don't know why I made that attack, because they have the Blight Priest. They must have the Mythic. There's no other way this makes sense unless they have the Mythic. Which I'll promptly Uncharted Voyage, because otherwise they just win on the spot with Siphoner, which is pretty nuts, actually. That's fine. Okay, I think I'm going to return Tatyova to the top of my deck. Tatyova, to me, is a little too good. And then we can go Indrik and we'll kill the Blight Priest. And hopefully they don't have the Mythic. We definitely die if they have the Mythic, but I'm not gonna... I mean, I can't do anything about it. It's just too good. I think. Actually, maybe we don't die. Because they need... Yeah, the Blight Priest is an essential piece of that. That's fine, though. That's totally fine. No problem. All right, Ambush Wolf. 8 mana. All right, we'll do Tatyova and leave up Ambush Wolf. Might have been unwise to play the Tatyova. You know, I did just go through that whole spiel where you shouldn't play it unless you're playing lands to draw off of it, but I feel like since I've already drawn, what, 3 times off of it, it kind of has already done its job. Although I did have to trade an Uncharted Voyage to save it as well. And, you know, it went to the top of my deck. It didn't go back to my hand. So it was a pretty Pretty bold play there. Okay. All right, let's get our value. Another land, perfectly fine. So we can do Uncharted Voyage on Giada. So I can attack with Tatyoba here too. Yeah, that's fine actually. If they have another Luminous Rebuke, I wonder if I... Yeah, I think I'm gonna save it again. And then we'll leave up Ambush Wolf to block Siphoner. We'll get rid of probably a creature. So maybe, I don't know, Blight Priest versus Healer's Hawk. Block Siphoner. A lot of removal in there, though. Eaten Alive, Big New Pie, Double Luminous Rebuke. Haven't seen the actual life gain synergies yet, but I definitely imagine they're in there. Great draw there. Lookout's a great draw, although, well, maybe it's not a great draw because we already have we already have Tatyoba. But if Tatyoba dies for some reason, then I think for now with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana, so we can use Snare Spinner 3 times and just start getting in there, I think. I'm just trying to diversify my army here at the moment. But I don't want to attack with Tatyoa. But we're set up, I mean, we're set up reasonably well right now. We have a mana sink with a bunch of mana, and we have more card draw every time we draw land. So rewarded for land draws, obviously rewarded for spells. A good spot to be at the moment. Ahead on the board, even in hand. Have a removal. Could play the Strix Lookout next turn and start buffing on that too. That might have been smarter than buffing the Llanowar Elf, but we'll see. Erudite Wizard as well. So yeah, we can buff the Ambush Wolf again, I think once, and we'll just attack with that. In for 7. And then I'm going to go lookout and I'm going to buff, let's see, 2, 5, 7. So we can only buff the lookout once this turn, which is fine. We'll make it work. Hawk versus, oh, they want the Hawk back, huh? Huh, that is a little, it's a little surprising. And that Soul Caller can't block too, also important to note. So we can do Erudite Wizard first. Then we go land, draw with Tatyova, draw a second card, buff that. Snare Spinner, lookout. Snare Spinner, lookout. And then we'll get in with lookout plus Ambush Wolf. All right. Sweet. Got there. We'll see for the next one. Got a keep here. It's a good hand. We get to go lookout or adept turn 2. Opponent mulligan, which is nice for us. All right, I think we'll probably go lookout first. I'm all right with that. See if they have the stab. They do. All right, we'll go land, pass. Okay. All right, we'll go land, snare spinner, and pass. So if they attack into snare spinner, I think I'm going to take it because fleeting distraction gets us a little too good. They could also just have removal here, but either way, we're not going to block with the snare spinner this turn. It looks like not going to block the snare spinner whether we want to or not. All right, so we're at least trading 3. Well, I was going to say we're trading 3 for 4, but no, they had a follow-up. One card left in hand, though. That's a good sign. But they are doing some digging. And we're kind of out of action here. Besides the snare spinner, of course, but... ooh, Needletooth pack. Well, that's a good one. Let's do the pack first. I think I'm just going to attack for 3 here. Because I actually want the... Yeah. This is... Ultimately, yeah. I would rather than block. Yeah, that's good. Because now we can go pack and buff up our adept, and then we've gotten good value out of this Needletooth pack already, so I'm happy about that. Basically, I'm trading a 1/1 for 2+1/+1 counters, but it's actually relevant in this case when you're going up against a 3/4, even if it has prowess. No play there. That's a good draw. Really good draw. So he can go land. And I think we'll just attack with the adept here. I'll trade for a plunder. They don't want to, which is also pretty good for us. And then we'll play a snare spinner. And pass. Okay. It's only on our instep that we get the Needletooth pack value. So we are going to block because we have the fleeting distraction. Beautiful. Sure. Okay. Protection from instants. Oh. So I can kill their light shell duo. And then buff with... I mean, I could kill Alinda too, but Alinda doesn't get huge until they have 21 life, which is relevant. So we can go land, which we might as well. So let's do Indrik, and we'll fight. I think we fight Light Shell Duo. It just, to me, it makes the most sense. Because we also get to buff with Needletooth back at that point. And I can get in for 4 here too. And if they want to trade with a Plunder, I'm all right with that. And then we'll buff our Indrik up. So we have good blockers for Alinda. All right, we'll take it. See you for the next one. All right, great hand here. Staying busy early. Don't need to do the Bushwhack yet, but Bushwhack's certainly not bad here. Whether I need a land or whatever. Pilfer. I'm just going to play the Adept. I don't really know what they're going to take anyway. Maybe Uncharted Voyage? That might make the most sense. That's probably what I would take. Yeah, I think that's the correct choice. And then wow, we even get the elusive, invisible Ambush Wolf, so that's nice. Ambush Wolf could be real brutal here too, if we can Fleeting Distraction, especially. They're in really big trouble here if they, like hugely big trouble. They know about the Fleeting Distraction though, so there's no way they block, but still. All right, we need to get the land. Not that it's all that relevant anyway. They have to take it, yeah. And then we'll deal a boatload of damage. I think we'll do Think Twice. I could actually kill. I'd have to use 2 cards, but not really. Do I want a Fleeting Distraction plus? Probably not. Let's just go Think Twice. I think we're going to Think Twice with our blue mana. Oh, I should have done that before damage then. Whoops. Although I wouldn't have known what I would have. Well, no, we still should have done it that way. All right, so now I guess they're going to get to draw a card. But this is okay. Could be worse. Yeah, this is fine. All right, so options now. I don't want them to draw each turn. We do have them in a fairly precarious spot. I'm trying to think. We probably want to kill the Vampire Gormon. So maybe we just Think Twice. It does, it's probably fine. I think we just Think Twice, draw, Bushwhack the Gormon. Yeah, that's probably fine. Although, no, I should have attacked first, I guess, huh? Yeah, that's true. Because now I can't get in for 8 without having to trade for Helpful Hunter. I probably didn't do that correctly. I mean, they did already kind of see it, but yeah, I think it would have been better to attack first. I think definitely better to attack first. We would have ultimately dealt less damage, but I think that's still the correct choice to make there. So Galta can be quite a bit cheaper once I play this. What if I go 1, 2, 3, Erudite Wizard, and then we go land, and I can make Galta cost. I see. Well, I'm gonna get in there. Sure. Let's see how they block here. Oh, they know about the fleeting distraction, so I'm not gonna be able to get them too good here. Well, I'm gonna get them reasonably good. I'm definitely playing. I mean, I'm playing fleeting distraction, so that much is clear. And Erudite Wizard is getting buffed too, which is nice. Oh, they just want to kill that. That's interesting. Huh. I'm still casting Fleeting Distraction, and the main reason why, even though it doesn't save Ambush Wolf, is because I think this block makes more sense too. I'm still going to cast Fleeting Distraction. The main reason why is because I deal more damage, I get to draw a card, and I buff Wizard. I think the primary one is buffing the Wizard. Ooh, Tayova. Nice one. All right. And I'm still just a land away from casting Galta, which is nice. If I draw a land, though, I'd probably rather just go Tayova land and be a little more patient on the Galta. Probably. Yeah. And we get to draw. We get to buff our Wizard. We have another Fleeting Distraction, which is nice. I'm going to get in there. All right, we'll do the distraction on the Angel. Didn't leave the mana open that I needed to cast Llanowar Elf, but it's not a huge deal. I can't cast Llanowar Elf next turn, though, because I need the double green for Galta. Unless I rip another green mana. See, this is why Tayova is so good. It kind of already did its job. That's the beauty. The real beauty of Galta is it's really already done its job. So why don't we just cast, we have 7, so we can actually do Mystic plus Galta here. And then we'll get in with Erudite Wizard. Okay. Sure. They're 10 life. Oh, that's nice. So we can do Indrik, fight the Nighthawk. And then I think they're pretty much toast. Because then they can't trade with Galta. Yeah. Yeah. All right. See you for the next one. All right. Great hand here. This is, once again, I just want to really shout out how good of a card Bushwhack is for making a not keepable hand keepable, because I have access to both my colors now right on turn 1. And I get a really nice fluid turn progression as well. Lookout into Wizard is actually really nice. See if they burst lightning in. If they do, I still have the fleeting distraction for my Erudite Wizard, so I'm kind of happy about that. Ooh, all right. So I could offer a trade, but I think I'll just do the Wizard now. I'm going to take 4 damage here, I'm pretty sure. Balmor, okay. Fair enough. So I can attack with the wizard here. And that's fine. And then we'll pass and I'll leave up Ambush Wolf because the Cerberus doesn't untap. Play the wolf. We'll get rid of a Burst Lightning. Tap. Another wolf. So we'll get our 5th land. Attack for 6. Pass turn. Leave up Ambush Wolf. Saving Tatyova for land. Using the Abrade, which is not ideal, but acceptable. Ambush Wolf 2. And we'll dump the Abrade. And untap. Erudite Wizard 2, play it. And we'll get in for 6 here. Oh, that's a bad choice. That is a bad choice. And definitely sandbagging land now with Tatyova. We've just got unbelievable value next turn with these wizards. I don't think we need that anymore. Ghalta, we still can afford Ghalta even after Ambush Wolf dies, so that's just fine. They're at 4. So they need a blocker for the Erudite Wizard. So we'll go land first, buff the wizard. And I'll just cast Ghalta now and get in there. We don't die to involuntary employment. No, don't die to that either. All right, so our land draw. All right. We'll see you for the next one. It's a good hand. Gonna keep it. Tatyova is proving to be the best card in our deck, so pretty tough to mulligan a hand that's got both colors and Tatyova in it. All right. There you go. Land, look out, go. They attack, we'll block. I'm okay with it. I don't need a lookout for this hand to succeed. We'll get in for 1, and I don't think we need to... We really don't need to loot. I mean, usually you can just make things better in your hand, so there's some justification to loot, but we've got kind of like a perfect hand. I really have nothing I want to get rid of or think I need to upgrade either. All right, so we'll just go land, attack for 1, and go. Next turn we'll do Needletooth Pack. So I guess we'll do Uncharted Voyage here. I probably take the 3 first. Let them play a 5 or 6 drop. And then Uncharted Voyage that instead. And then drop the Needletooth Pack. I think I like that more. And then obviously we're a land away from Tatyova value. What this deck is all about. Still no real justification to use Lookout in my estimation here. Unless, I mean, I could just get the land, go for that, get that land now to get Tatyova going. But I don't want to lose the Uncharted Voyage. Like, buying time now when I have Tatyova and Galta just waiting to be played. Oh, that's a weird, unexpected play there. Well, I may just use the Voyage now, I guess. If they want to fight my Lookout, I'm okay with that too. They get a fight spell out of the way. So Fleeting Distraction, how do I feel about that? I don't think we need it. What does it really do for me? It kind of, I feel like I'd rather just have a land, I guess. Indrik too, huh? Nice. All right, well, let's go Needletooth Pack, get in with Lookout and pass. That's a good one. So now we can go Tatyova, land. So they have Elfsworn Giant. I could get in with the Needletooth Pack, but I don't think I'm going to. We'll pass. We can cast Galta now too. It's a big deal. Make them deal with Galta is pretty good. I feel like I'm okay trading here, actually. It does make Galta more expensive now, but I have Indrik too I can play. Well, 12-8, huh? All right. Well, I have Uncharted Voyage for that too. So let's get our this, draw, adept. I don't really want to do Indrik yet. Because I can cast Galta next turn if I do the... So I think we'll just do Llanowar Elf. I'll get in with the Lookout. This doesn't have reach, right? No. Doesn't have trample either. And then we'll pass. I'm going to block, I guess, with Llanowar Elf. And then Uncharted Voyage here. Or maybe I want to block with the Adept first. Well, yeah, this is just in case they have like hexproof or something. Prevents 12 damage. It's probably worth it. All right. Well, I guess I don't need the land anymore. Let's see. I'm gonna have 2, 3, 4. I have 8 mana though with Llanowar Elf. So I'll be able to hard cast Galta. I don't need this land. Got a land anyway, not a huge deal. We can do Galta and get in with the Lookout. See if they have more removal. I guess might as well sandbag the land now for Strix Lookout. We don't need land anymore. Okay, I guess they needed that Llanowar Elf to cast the Ceratops, so I wonder if that was the wiser play. I don't think it really matters. Wow, bushwhack too, huh? Jeez. I really want to bushwhack, but I don't think that. If I get fleeting distraction, I can. Let me see. So why don't we do, well, I can't really attack first. How many, I have one distraction left. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big deal. They could, no, there's no way they triple block. They're just going to trade with Ceratops. Let's do lookout, activate, and find, let's see if we can find fleeting distraction. We didn't, but it's not a huge deal. So we'll go land, and we'll get in for 12 here. I mean, I could attack with the adept too, actually. And if they eat it with the Ceratops, but take 12, they go to 6. I think that's fine. I don't have any real other way to buff up the adept, so I'd rather just get a skeleton off of there, deal some trample damage to him. And yeah, we don't need to bushwhack. I mean, it does kill Lano Elf, but I'd rather save it. Oh, let's get the Ceratops back. Well, I mean, they don't have the green mana, so this might be decent time to, I guess, kill the Llanowar Elf if they don't have the triple green. All right, I guess we can do it now. Erudite Wizard is also actually very good here. So let's go Wizard first. Oh, I see the dilemma. And then I don't have the mana to do the Indrik, so Indrik needs to kill. Doesn't need to. Actually, I guess I still do have the mana, don't I? Yeah, I do. Because I have the Llanowar Elf. So we'll go Wizard. Oh, wait. No, that's fine. I can go Wizard. I can do this post-combat too, because I'm probably not using the lookout. So why don't we just do Indrik first? Kill the Llanowar Elf. And I'm killing the elf because, like I said, they can cast the Ceratops off of it, so I'm all right with that. That's fine too. Get in with Lookout, and then cast Erudite Wizard. And pass. Can't block, so I mean the Soul Caller can't block, so it makes sense to attack with it. They need a green mana, they can't do the Ceratops. And if they don't have green mana, they can still do their 3/3 that we know about. They have to deal with this Indrik, they have to deal with, oh, well, I see. What are they gonna discard? They don't have zombies, do they? No. Snare Spinner is obviously very good. Second buff. Snare Spinner gives us an actual, because I've got 9 mana now, so 4, 7. I could have 10, and then I could use it twice. That's pretty good. That's probably better than buffing Erudite Wizard the other way. So why don't we just start buffing our dudes up here? I mean, they're still just... I can also loot too. Let me think. Let's do Snare Spinner for sure. And you can buff Lookout, I think. And then I can attack with Lookout plus Indrik. Plus Erudite Wizard too, actually. And then we can use Lookout with Llanowar Elf plus Island. I don't know if it's worth killing their Llanowar Elf now, because I still have the Snare Spinner to just bushwhack their 12-8 if I'm really... I can block their 12-8, so I'm really not even worried about that. Let's just loot now that I've attacked, though. All right, and then I guess we will dump the land. So now I've got a second Snare Spinner, which is good. So 9 mana means we can use Snare Spinner 3 times. I don't know why they kept the Soul Caller back, but we can also use Lookout, which is nice. Why don't we... They have the reach, though, which could be a problem. I don't know if it's actually a big deal. Do we want to... Well, we don't want to use Lookout first. So we'll buff Lookout and buff Lookout. And I think we'll buff Lookout one more time and just get in for 5 flying. I think this is the best plan. Another option is get in with these guys too. They don't really have phenomenal blocks here. I'm perfectly content with that trade too. Actually a little surprised they want to make that trade, because now their 12-8's not going to get there. And we have lethal up flying. And even if they deal with the Lookout, I just play another one and buff that up to lethal in the next turn. All right. See you for the next one. Well, it's absolutely a keep here. We've got a turn 2 Lookout, turn 3 Ambush Wolf with some fleeting distraction, hopefully being good for us. All right, opponent's got some kind of crazy looking sleeves there too. All right, getting the Lookout down. Once again, nothing I really want to loot here. Pretty happy with everything. All right. Get in for 1 and pass. Let them attack with Thespian, and then we'll drop a Ambush Wolf and see if we can get some surprise damage through here. Still nothing I really want to loot. All right, let's. I think at this point we'll discard a forest. Okay. Well, Bushwhack can find another land. I'm probably gonna end up doing that, I think. Although, I could just loot too. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a reasonable question here. I think we'll wait. I think we'll wait. Could have searched up the land. It would guarantee me the pack next turn. Let's just loot. Oh, well, that's kind of nice, actually. Although, yeah, that's got to make the most sense. And then I think I'll use Distraction now as just a 1-mana card. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's good. So, let's get the pack down and get in here. And this is now a phenomenal trade for us. I have a 3/4 flyer now. All right. It's a good card. It's only on their end step, though, which is good. All right. That's fine. They're going to get to draw a card here, but we get to kill their wardens, so that's good news. Ooh, Snare Spinner, too. So we'll go land. Snare Spinner, kill wardens. And then we'll buff our Snare Spinner. We've got mana sinks with Snare Spinner. We've got morbid value with Pack. We've got 2 real big threats. We're going to put the counters on the Snare Spinner if it lives to continue, Okay. It's fine. We have Think Twice. Ooh, that's a real nasty draw there. Real nasty draw. I think we sandbagged the land. Rationale being we have one more Strix Lookout, I believe. We have one more. And we have Tatyova, which is maybe even more of a reason to sandbag it. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, wow. All right. Good draws there. We'll see you for the next one. Okay. Certainly a reasonable keep here. Don't really have a creature yet until turn 3, but bit of an odd hand, but we have good value for these fleeting distractions, so I like it. All right. I think if they play the Pride Mate here, I'm going to fleeting distraction. Otherwise, I think it's worth saving them for our Erudite Wizards and Mischievous Mystic, in my opinion. Well, hopefully they don't cast the Think Twice again. Good. That I like. All right, so we'll take 2. We go Ambush Wolf, Ether Think Twice. Now we can, I think we just eat the Eagle. This is not best use of mana, but for some reason I just like it. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Well, all right. We're going to Bushwhack, fight the Eagle, kill that, attack for 4, and play Mystic. And then we have Distraction Voyage next turn, which is pretty good. This is actually okay. We're going to take it. Pride Mate's getting big, but we have the Voyage for it, so it's actually kind of okay. We can attack first. Actually, I don't know if there's really a reason to attack first. Let's go. Let's just bounce it now. And don't need the land. And then we'll play land. And get in for 6. And we're actually going to distraction now because we get the 1/1 because it's our turn. Okay. Sure. That was a great draw. So we can go land. We don't have mana to go Snare Spinner plus something else relevant, but we'll get in for 4, play the Snare Spinner and pass. That way, if they have an answer for Snare Spinner, we still have something to trade with the Healer's Hawk. Snare Spinner is a great mana sink. I think we probably sandbag 1 land, I'm guessing. Is my thought. Still don't have a good attack. Snare Spinner doing everything, so we don't need to sandbag both. I think the play is probably buff up Wolf here. And I guess I can buff it up twice. Get in for 6. And they really don't have a great block. Like, they go save your Pridemate. I mean, kill both their most relevant creatures, still have a blocker for their thing. This puts them in a pretty tricky spot. That doesn't even, does that kill our guy? Oh, I guess it does. That sort of makes sense, I guess. Because they get 2 more counters on Pridemate, but I still have the Death Touch. I still got a 2-for-1 trade. I think it's okay. I think I can afford to take a 5 hit here. Not 100% sure. I also could trade and hope that my random top deck is better than theirs. I could go on a top deck war. I do have a lot of card draw too. And I have another snare spinner, but that's assuming they don't have removal or their own fleeting distraction. I'm going to take 5 this turn. Potentially dangerous, but we'll see. All right. That's fine. So we'll play a land. And I'll buff Snare Spinner twice. And we'll pass. Sure. That's fine. Oh, Voyage is fantastic here. So let's go. I think I'm just going to tap out doing this. Kind of just divide my army up a little bit. That way, if they have an answer for Snare Spinner, I can still kill the Seraph or block the Elemental. And then I have Uncharted Voyage up for something at some point. It's a bit of a tough one. It's a sensible play, though. So if we draw a land, we have to play it. This is a pretty questionable attack. All right, so we go land or elf. And we'll buff elf and leave up Uncharted Voyage in case they have removal. And then we'll Voyage the Seraph if we have to. Okay. Do I want to use the Voyage yet? Kind of don't. Yeah, that's good. And we still have 5 mana up. All right. You're going to be able to loot with Lookout, but so are we. All right, it's gonna be a tough one to beat. Cards I got left 15. Oh, still plenty. We have fight spells in here somewhere. So let's go. So we got 10 mana. So buff here. And then let's see. If I buff again, that leaves me just enough to do Voyage. So I probably want to loot. So I want to loot plus Voyage, which means I can't attack with Lookout yet. So if we're going to loot 2, I think we just pass. And we'll stop on their combat. I want to stop on their combat step here so they don't accidentally get a 8/8 or whatever. Right? Not see anything? I don't know if I'm first main. I want to stop on their combat, but I'm not 100% sure how to do that. I guess we can do it after their draw step too, or their upkeep. All right, well, I'm just gonna do the Voyage now. Actually, it's pretty good. So we'll still use the Strix Lookout. That's a very strange attack. I like it, but very strange. Especially if we're playing another Snare Spinner. Take 4, 5, go to 1. Okay. So Snare Spinner number 2. I mean, we can think twice first. See what we draw. Oh, Indrik, very nice. Yeah, because I can kill Kiora now too. That's great. Okay, that's wonderful. Yeah, so we can even do think twice again. Or maybe it makes more sense to buff Lookout. Yeah. And then play Snare Spinner. And get in for 4 here. And then, like I said, we have the... I mean, we're at 1 life here, but we have a flyer and 2 reach. So even if they get rid of a reach, it's not enough. That's certainly not good enough. Yeah. So we're going to do Indrik, kill Kiora. I mean, they just get an octopus out of it, but I don't want to deal with it. And then we can go land just for more Snare Spinner. And actually, yeah, they can't. Can't quite attack with Lookout, can I? Because they have a... Well, actually, if they double block it, I kill the eagle and then their Seraph dies. That's pretty good. Yeah, kill the eagle and I... Wait, does that work? No, I just deal 2 to Seraph and it becomes a 3/3 again. All right, we'll pass then. No rush. I don't even know if killing Kiora was completely necessary, but I didn't want him to get an 8/8 octopus. So we got 9, 10, 11 mana. So even if I draw another land, we can buff 4 times. It's pretty good. 5/5 here. And we can go put 3 more. So this would be 9 toughness. Or yeah, that's totally. Oh, I see the problem though, the Indrik. Okay. Yeah, let's buff the Indrik one more time then. And then we'll do more buffs here. And I'll leave up Think Twice this turn, actually. I'm just getting with the Indrik. I could attack with the Lookout. They get a pretty good double block though, so I don't love that. I mean, they do kill us if they deal with any of our dudes now, but I can't do anything about it. Yeah, they actually get us here. All right, well, they found their victory card. See you for the next one. All right, good keep here. A little bit on the slow side, but we'll take it. We got both colors. And shout out to Thornwood Falls for making us not have to mulligan. All right, we'll go land, go. And we'll surprise block the kitty, the 1/1 kitty. Oh, well, guess now we'll just trade with, oh, well, all right. Now we'll block the 1/1. We'll take 5, play the snare spinner, number 1, and pass. All right, I have the answer for the first one. Hopefully I don't have an answer for a second one. We'll trade with the Prideful Parent to prevent damage. And it's got Vigilance anyway, but you get more life gain synergies off the Felidar Savior, but I'll trade with the savior if they don't attack with the parent too. I'm fine either way. We're just in prevent damage mode at the moment. Hopefully I don't have an answer for the second one. All right, so we'll go elf plus snare spinner here. Yeah, bummer, but what are you gonna do? All right, so I guess we'll let's see. We have voyage. I guess that's good. So we can felling blow. And then we'll pass. Leave up the uncharted voyage. I think I'm actually going to take 2 here. All right, I'll just voyage now, which is also fine. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to leave the elf back in case they have like a Cathar commando or something. Sure. Let's see. Guess we can Indrik and fight the hunter. Just puts a body out there, basically. All right. The funny thing is, I don't like make your move, but I've gotten by that card way more times than I feel comfortable admitting. It's kind of shocking how many times that card has worked against me, but it's one of those cards I never play, but I've got by it, and I still don't like it. But it looks like we're going to get got here very shortly. So we'll go land, Erudite Wizard, and we'll leave up Uncharted Voyage. And yeah, we're in pretty serious trouble now, unfortunately. So probably block, and then we'll voyage a token. And I mean, guess it's better than the land. We don't die, I guess, if I get a Mystic. Yeah, maybe I needed to draw something better in hindsight. It's better than a land, but now they just get to play their 2/3 and buff their dudes. So tough loss here. They didn't even have their blue mana for most of the game. I mean, maybe they were just borderline mono white, but yeah, this is a tough loss. I mean, our deck still did pretty good overall, but yeah, this is not a loss that puts a smile on my face. This one kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. All right, ended up going 6-3 though. That's pretty good. Let's do some pack one pick ones. Okay. Pack one, pick one. Well, Rabo's pretty good in its monocolor, but gosh, Taiova won basically every single one of our games. That's a tough one to argue. I don't know which one's more niche. I guess this, since it's monocolor, I mean, you don't even have to really play other cats and be pretty happy with it. You get 2/2/2s for 3 mana at worst, which is still pretty good. And then on top of that, you know, maybe you get a bunch of other cats too and make it even better. So probably a Robo, I guess. Tough to pass Tatyova, though, especially after how good the performance was. All right, pack two, or pack one, pick one with the second one. I'd probably just take Nighthawk here. It's a great card. Flying Death Touch, Lifelink, old card and still good, so awesome. Otherwise, think twice in the running there. Great synergistic card. Pack one, pick one here. I'm just looking probably at Stab. 1 mana removal, that's pretty good. There's Faladar Savior as well. Nothing else really getting my attention, so probably take the Stab. All right, pack one, pick one here. I guess you take the Mythic Flyer here. Pretty awesome ability, yeah. Pridemate's tough to pass, though. Excellent. One of probably the best 2-drop in the format, I'm guessing. One of the best. But Sphinx is, even though it's 4-drop, that ability is pretty amazing. And it flashes in, which is sweet, too. But that ability is so strong. It's a Mythic for a reason. Cast all your instant sorceries again. Doubling Season's kind of a trap card. Probably take the Hero's Downfall, I'm guessing. I like Sage, I like Firebrand, I like Indrik. Terror's playable, Ranger and Giant are both playable, but I'd go with the removal, take the Downfall, be happy about it. And final pick. All right, here, Heroic Reinforcements, Perforating Artist, Burst Lightning, Stab. Well, I'd take Burst Lightning over Stab, and I think I'd take it over Artist and Reinforcements too. Those are both good, you know, kind of key uncommons for their archetypes, but Burst Lightning is just so solid and playable in every red deck. Be really tough to pass that, and it kills your opponent too, randomly, when you have the mana. So really nice. All right, thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.